welcome back to Nightly Nerds. I'm Tote.
And I'm Ginger.
And we're playing
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
And it's that old dude again, just gliding in like he owns the place. I like his design, his fluffy beard. Kind of got a Santa Claus feel to him. It is getting to be that season. But when this
beginning to
this actually will air right away because we lost those two sessions. Because Tote screwed up. I will say Tote screwed up, but we need to get into a habit of doing like a mic check.
Yeah, mic check 1, 2.
We usually do that though.
Where we snap on the...
Yeah, to see if it peaked, and it wouldn't have peaked, and we would have known. In fact, it would have been going crazy because it would have been picking up other things that are close to it. She'd be like, "This doesn't look right, Larry," and I would have been like, "Oh, I'm not. There's no blame on you. It was totally my fault. I think I'm the one that even powered it on." So, but yeah, didn't check it. And
that was a rush day because it was right after I got off work.
And yeah, we were trying to get two sessions in as fast as we could, and yeah, powered it on, and it was using we have a different recording device. We record separately from our game so we can sync the audio later, and it just makes better, clearer audio, in my opinion. Because our audio is pretty good, I think. But
so it was the one thing we got like complimented on for the
longest time. But obviously it's not our content. But just joking. But yeah, and so the device we record to has its own internal mic that it has for it. And I had been using those for a different project, and I didn't switch it over to use the external mics that we are plugged into right now with our board and everything. And so we could hear ourselves because it goes to the board and our audio goes to us, but we weren't actually recording that audio onto the device. The device microphone was recording. So you could hear us distantly, muffled as we were talking, but all you could hear was like the fan from the PlayStation and from the computer and the TV and stuff.
And the actual fan.
And the actual fan that we have on too, which you can't really hear right now because the way these mics are set up. So it was horrible. So we basically lost 2 whole sessions. We had unusable audio, especially the second session. The audio was even worse because we turned another fan on because it got warm. So yeah, these will be airing really quick after we record them because we have our backlog that I thought we had does not exist.
Oh, I can offer you great power.
Here's great power.
You have 4 spirit orbs, so we're gonna get a stamina vessel because...
And I will sail my vessel till the river runs dry.
It's a Deku tier.
Like a bird upon the wind, these waters are my skies. You remember that song? I'm sure you do.
I do.
It's an old Garth Brooks song.
I tune out as much country as possible.
That song was like huge. It was like the wind beneath my wings for scouts. And like guys in our community at that time getting like an Eagle Scout. That would be the song they play. Or going on a mission or joining the military or something, or having some kind of thing about themselves, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this is the song that represents what I'm going to go do. I'm going to sail my vessel. It was good times. So I heard that song a lot at a lot of tributes and stuff. Like, this is like, you know, mid-90s. What was I? Something I was watching or reading or doing the other day, and it had to do with the 90s. It was this very important thing, and the other person was just not... They were too young and they didn't get it. I can't remember what it was, but it was so frustrating for me because... I get the whole I'm so young I don't know that to a degree.
But I mean I know stuff in the 70s.
I know a shit ton of stuff from stuff to the 30s. Like
it's called being conscious and knowing your history.
Knowing your history, even if it's like just cinema, you know? Like I know
pop culture history.
It's And so I can't stand people who are like, well, that was from before I was born. Yeah, a year before you were born. You should still know it.
I truly am.
I get at the same time, like, you shouldn't, oh, he's the king.
Yep. Oh yeah, so this is like big story explanation.
Which no longer exists.
But anyways, yeah, I get not knowing things. Like, you don't want to criticize them too badly or they won't want to learn.
Yeah.
But at the same time, come on, people. watch a movie made in the 70s. There's some amazing movies made back then, or the 80s, or the 90s.
Devastated everything in its path.
Lo, a century ago. I have a niece like that, actually. She cannot watch anything that's made before like 2009.
Yeah.
She gets frustrated with it.
Remained in spirit form.
She's like, oh, this is old. This sucks. Whereas eventually she ends up liking them more than the stuff she watches now, but
So rather than that,
you have to like convince her to watch stuff.
assume a temporary form.
And I was never like that as a kid. Some of my favorite movies were made long before I was born.
Ready to hear what
I mean, my favorite movie as a kid was the original Hobbit.
Yeah.
That was done in the 70s.
to know Calamity Ganon's true form. One must know
They were, they were movies that were made before I was born, or like when I was a child and too young to remember them, you know? But
Yeah.
they became my favorite movies as like as a young adult, or as a teenager, or as a kid, because I watched them and I saw the value that they had.
in the form of legends and fairy tales.
But I had parents who were really good about that. Like my dad's was pretty much like just a cinema buff when it came to movies, which is funny because now I'm much more than he is, like way much more.
Yeah.
But he loved movies, and so we would watch all kinds of movies, and he loved to share his music. So like 70s rock, which was his era of music, I know almost.
Excavating large areas of
I mean, I don't say I know it all, but I've basically heard it all, and I have my favorites and the ones I don't like as much, and I can name bands that people can't name just from hearing the tune and go, oh, that's so and so. You know, that's Three Dog Night, and they're like, how do you know that?
Oh yeah. So last Thursday I was hanging out with my two friends getting some driving practice. Bought my Switch, and then like we did a little drinking, and
Little thinking, drinking.
and what is it? My friend, he likes to do this little thing where he like pulls up his phone, puts up on YouTube, and does a little like guess the song kind of thing. And he found a Disney one because you hit that side of drunk, and it was like the first 5 seconds of a Disney song. It's like, if you know, I'll give you a point if you get the song and if you get the movie. And it was so bad I was able to rapid fire 22 different songs. And they were
Like
just
22 in a row.
and they were just obscure. So like it started out as with like Tarzan, Son of Man, and then it would go to like Be Prepared, Lion King, but then it was just like Brother Bear or Country Bears or
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
different obscure ones. And they're just like, how the fuck do you know
like
this?
the color song from the Disney
From, freaking
silly
Zippity-
symphonies and stuff. Like
Oh my
you're just like whipping those out on them. They're like, how do you know this stuff?
And I'm just like,
I've totally done that.
I
to
just grew
people.
up with Disney.
Yeah,
Away Ganon.
I do that with movies. Actually, I've been like in a
Ganon was cunning, and he respected
like at a store or something, and like so like say they have like a TV, like a movie playing in the store, and the first like 5 to 10 seconds of the movie, like the opening like cinematic, like here's the studios, like shows that, you know, like brought to you by Columbia and stuff like that kind of stuff, you know, will be coming up, and with like the first 2 or 3 notes of the song for the opening credits, I'll just hear it. I'm like, oh, someone's watching You've Got Mail. And someone will be like, what? And then they'll come around the corner and You've Got Mail's on. Like, how the hell did you do? That's like just what I do. That's just what I do.
I've done that too.
I've also done it with just the visual too. Like, there's no sound, but I just see the visual. I don't know what movie it is before like anything comes up. I love to quote movies and go, you know, like movie to with the person, and I get really disappointed when they don't get the movie, especially if it's a big pop icon movie, you know.
So
Like if it's a famous quote from Ghostbusters and they don't get it, I'm like, really,
face Ganon.
really.
it's the one thing I love about my sister. So like she considers herself to be a huge cinephile, but she never retains anything in any of the movies.
Oh, so she just
Like I had to explain to her 6 different times how the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline went.
and she's like seen the movies multiple
And
times.
she's seen them more than I have.
No, I get that. I have a sister like that too. She's a little. Information goes in one ear and out the other a lot of the time.
But she's a movie girl. She watches
All the movies, yeah. I know people like that, and they like every movie too. And it's like, oh, you're not really a movie fan, because a movie fan is also critical.
Yeah, because you can like a crappy movie. You just have to understand that it's a crappy movie.
You have to understand why you like it too. Like, you just like it, or do you get why you like it? Like,
Years later,
there's a handful of those that I like that I know are bad movies.
Like I like Sucker Punch, which is
a bad movie.
Very bad movie.
But there's the things about it that
I
you
like it because of the music. I like it because the pacing is really nice and it makes you think.
Yeah.
Because that kind of stuff, like mental disorder, is really just, and it's different. And what the way Sucker Punch does it is she goes through different phases.
Yeah.
To, like, handle this problem, this one problem, right before she gets lobotomized.
Ooh. Yeah, we talked about that when we were playing Hellblade.
Yeah.
All right, King, wrap your story up.
Yeah. So the cliff notes of the story is he was preparing for Calamity Ganon's an inevitable return,
And his preparing actually caused it.
No. His preparing, like, everyone started digging and like finding these ancient stuff, like the divine beasts, the guardians, the guys shooting the lasers at us.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
They're autonomous.
They're autonomous, and so what happened is Ganon realized this and sent out evil waves that took over them.
So he turned the tech to his side.
He turned the tech to his side, so like...
Yeah, so their own preparing for the battle was used against them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because Link was, the courageous hero supposed to wield the sword of power, and Zelda...
Like a knight or something?
Yeah, so he was the knight, and then the battle ensued. He got injured, and he got put into the stasis of the slumber for 100 years, while Zelda fought off...
Or held off
Ganon, and so Link has no memory of any of this.
Ah.
So we're gonna go through the game and we're gonna find different spots that are gonna trigger memory flashbacks.
Ah, the king.
Oh, and not to mention that there's 4 champions: a Gerudo, a Gerudo, a Goron, a Zora, and a Rito that all pilot the 4 divine beasts.
Okay. So there's like a C1 and a...
Yeah, there's a bird flying. There's a walking camel.
Yeah, I saw the walking camel thing go by.
There's a lizard.
I wasn't paying attention.
And then there's a fish.
Oh, and there's a fish.
There's a fish.
Is there a Goron?
There is.
Nice. Is there a chest right next to you can open?
Yep.
Destroy Ganon, main quest. I love that. Soldier's bow. You know what? I need to learn how to shoot a bow. I worked at Bass Pro, and I remember the guys in archery were always telling me, like, hey, just get a bow. You need to get a bow and just practice with it. You'll fall in love with it. And I didn't do it. And now I wish I had.
I love archery.
Yeah. Did you hear about that's what they're using in China right now, in Hong Kong? Because it was so funny because they're talking about... just freaking Blizzard. Did you heard about what they did to the guy who did the pro Hong Kong? So one of the guys, one of their big competitors in Overwatch, he won something, or he did well in a tournament, and his Twitter or Instagram or something, he did like a pro Hong Kong comment, like supporting the protesters. And he got suspended by Blizzard, and they took his winnings away. Well, everyone got pissed because we should be supporting the Hong Kong protesters because China's they are breaking human rights. They're suppressing the people, and it has to do with like they implementing this law where they could detain anybody they saw as an enemy of the state, which they can do in like all of mainland China. But in Hong Kong, they couldn't do that because the whole, it used to be under British control. The British gave it back, and it was still kind of autonomous, even though all the economy goes into China.
Yeah.
Well, they're taking away that autonomy little by little, and they're going to have this new law, and so the people are protesting that you can just come in and arrest anybody you want. That's like bullshit. I believe that's what it is. And so they've been protesting for the last it's been months now, and there's been people who are people who have business interests in China who've been, if not supporting China's side of it, refusing to support or punishing those that do support the protesters, which is bullshit. But you get why they do it, because Blizzard that's a huge market for them, China.
And they also don't want to necessarily, businesses don't necessarily want to put a political stance on anything.
But this thing was that he's an individual player.
Yes.
So he can be pro Hong Kong if he wants. And there was some backlash, and they ended up reinstating him, I believe, and maybe giving his winnings back. I'm not sure. Or giving his winnings back and not reinstating him, one of the two. But because of that, when BlizzCon just passed, in the comment section, it was just constantly like, you know, pro Hong Kong chants and anti Blizzard, and there was
hey guys,
the big joke was there could be a bunch of cosplayers as Winnie the Pooh, because that's what people do for the Prime Minister of China, or President of China. I don't know which one it is, but it's just so crazy. And the NBA got in a kerfuffle with it too. But what was interesting is I saw this like breakdown of how much money a lot of video game companies make in China, and it's really not that much.
Yeah,
it's like they're more trying to break into the market, because like some of the games that are dominating the market aren't necessarily the games from the West, but it kind of gets annoying when they are willing to
this one's easy,
devalue what like the American audience wants, because they're trying to get the Chinese audience. And I'm not saying it has to be like pro-American. I mean, it's not necessarily pro-American. It could be like also Western, I guess I should say, like European, what Europeans want and stuff too. Because our market's not as big, but we still have the lion's share of that market because they haven't 100% broken into China. But they're like, we're gonna like League of Legends, we're gonna remove all skulls from the game. So they changed all this stuff and removed all the skulls from everything and all the artwork because it's bad luck in China. I was like, well, we want the skulls. Well, that didn't work.
It didn't pick up the gust of wind as fast as it should have.
Yeah. Maybe you need to jump higher?
I mean, that's as high as I can jump.
Well, you gotta jump higher. There it is. Was it the angle you jumped in on or something?
Probably.
Kind of came from the side. Whee! Man, you're flying. That would be kind of fun if you could do that. Like, if you could just have a little glider like that and use it like that.
Right?
What a world we would live in. Oh. You should have gone for the lower one. You gonna eat? Oh, poor Link.
I mean, how helpful would that be in like if you were in a in the Ocarina of Time and you knew that like this fall would hurt you and you could pause? No. Okay, good.
I'm gonna survive. Whee! Oh, ho, ho.
No, that was my fault.
Oh, it was awesome. You might want to eat some food before you make this jump because you're like low. So many apples. All the way this time. Is there a... Oh, there's that chest trying to get to it. What? Nice.
I forget that sometimes you have to do a running jump.
A soldier's claymore. Your inventory is full.
Yeah, because it's full of bokoblin clubs.
Drop that sumbitch. So what are the numbers for? Like, wasn't like there's like a 4 and a 20?
It's how much your attack is, and you can't like you can get really strong weapons, but the game gives you stronger weapons depending on how far you have progressed in the game. So like that soldier's claymore could end up being like a knight's claymore or a royal claymore.
So is the 4 like the power?
Yeah, so that's my current strength, and that's what it'll turn into when I equip it.
Oh, gotcha. How do you know the durability of a weapon?
You don't.
Oh.
Typically, like if it's finer crafted, it lasts a bit longer.
Gotcha.
But let's talk to this bad boy, and then I'll end this episode.
It'll end it already?
Yep.
Wow.
You did a lot of talking.
Well, I couldn't talk the whole first half session because I was in excruciating pain and playing a game. I was so quiet. I knew I was quiet. There's like nothing I could do. A spirit orb! May the goddess smile upon you. All right, everyone, that's going to end this episode of Nightly Neds. As always, I'm Tote.
And I'm Ginger.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, did you like that video?
Well, if you did, click the box on the right for another.
Click the box on the left for a playlist.
Of course, you could always just subscribe by clicking the link in the middle.
Come find us on social media.
There are links in the description below.
Don't be afraid to leave us a comment.
Thanks for watching. I'm Tote.
I'm Ginger. See you then.
Bye.